What's up everybody, Coach Mills here coming at you with a brand new amazing Valorant video, and in this video we're going to be explaining to you why Riot will never be the same when this notable figure has walked away from the company, and we got to talk about huge skin leaks coming soon to the game, and on top of that we got to talk about the Ask Valorant 9 where Riot devs answer some of the big questions that the community has been asking, like playing practice range while queuing or pausing the game mid-round. Find out all about this information by watching the video to the end, but of course go to the Game Leap website if you want in-depth up-to-date VOD reviews. We got Radiant level agent courses, in-depth tips and tricks, mechanical guides, map guides, and much more. Do yourself a favor and go check it out in the links down below, and don't miss out our 50% off sale right now. But without further ado, let's jump into the video. Now on a serious note, our first story, I'm gonna need some big time F's in the comments down below because Morello, Big Papa Morello, is leaving the Riot company. He posted on Twitter saying this: "Hey folks, wanted to let everyone know that I'll be leaving Riot after over 10 pretty damn awesome years. I can't say what I'm doing next yet, but suffice to say, it's one of the only things that could have pulled me away from my home here at Riot." You know, Morello is notably known for hating healers, and we're getting a new healer in the game, so I figured out why he's leaving. No, all joking aside, Morello is stepping away because he got an insanely huge opportunity. We get a little insight from one of his co-workers stating this: "Definitely nothing to speculate about. He did amazing things for Valorant and recently received the opportunity of a lifetime. I will personally miss him as he was one of the greatest mentors I could have asked for. We are all saddened but so excited for what he is able to produce on his new team." Now, all memes aside, Morello was an insanely amazing part of the community, giving us a clear line of sight into a lot of the development thinking, so I really am saddened to see him go, especially because he has such a rich history in Riot with League of Legends and then now Valorant. But by the way that they're talking, this insane opportunity seems like he's still going to be doing design, so he's most likely working on a new IP or some new big game, but we're gonna have to wait and see what that is. But I'm sure that whatever he's a part of, if it's bigger or big enough to pull him away from Valorant, I can't even imagine what it would be. Something really cool to say the least. Now the next thing that we gotta talk about are the new leaked skins. First off, we gotta show the Singularity skins right here that are most likely gonna be out in the new act, and Jesus, these are probably the coolest ones I've seen by far. I'm trying not to go broke here, man, but Riot just keeps making cooler and cooler skins as we're going forward. Tell me what you think about these skins in the comments down below. And in addition, we got a new leaked set of skins that are most likely involving the battle pass, which is really cool for most of us that don't want to drop, like, you know, $1 bazillion on skins and we just want to grind out the battle pass. Check these skins out. They look really cool, especially that gun in the middle. I think looks really fire, and the bottom knife, that looks absolutely amazing. The coolest battle pass knife so far in my opinion. But all of the skins, I need to know your input, but this is really cool, and it gets me even more hyped about the new act. We're gonna be getting a new map in Icebox, and in 2 weeks after the act releases, we're also gonna be getting a new agent in Sky. It is a great time to be a Valorant player. I mean, that's all I gotta say about that. Now, moving on to the Ask Valorant 9. And for those of you who don't know, each one of the Ask Valorants are just a list of questions that the community asked that the developers wanted to answer or address, and we've gotten a whole bunch of them that talk about anything from hit registration to running headshots to just minor things all over the place. Well, there are some interesting things that they answered in this one. Let's jump into each question one at a time. Now, the first question states, should you be allowed to have an in-game pause per team? Because sometimes people need a break and need to go to the bathroom or things like that. And a lot of players have actually asked this. They've thought, should there be a pause? Because honestly, some Valorant games can go really long, and maybe having a break in between might give you like some time to, like, I don't know, stretch or something like that. Well, they stated with this that they've actually done some experimentation with team pauses in-game and pre-round. They would never allow you to pause a game while like combat is happening, but in the pre-round, in the buy stages, there could be a sort of pause, they state, that doesn't mess with competitive integrity. They're really looking into this, and they like the idea of being able to pause like once per team per game in the pre-round phase. And that'd be pretty cool if you could have like a 30-second or maybe like a minute pause, maybe at one point in the round if everyone on your team votes for it. But it's gonna be probably quite a bit down the line. But I really want to know your opinion about this. Do you think it's cool, or do you think it would be annoying, them having pauses? What do you think about this entire thing? Do you think it's even needed? Definitely let me know in the comments down below. Now, the next question that was in the Ask Valorant is, when will we ever get a system to share crosshair settings, like the deck system code in League of Legends? So this is basically like a shortcut, because you could of course look at like pros and things like that and like copy their crosshairs, but it would be really cool if you could just have like a code to instantly copy people's settings or their crosshairs really easily, so you could easily like jump between multiple different crosshairs and try them out. And they have stated that they have plans for more crosshair customization in the future, and a good extension of that would be to allow you to share your customizations with teammates and of course friends. Now, as far as more crosshair customization in the future, I don't really know necessarily what that entails, but more features is always better, so I'm interested to see what they're gonna have to offer in the future. Now, for the last question that they had in the Ask Valorant, and it's, will we ever be able to play on the practice range while queuing? Well, they state that the tech is feasible to let you jump into the practice range while queuing, but they've been reluctant to pursue this because it is straight up not efficient for what it's accomplishing, and they're more excited about some alternatives like an aim trainer that you can have access in queue. Now, they further go into detail about this, stating that a practice match, quote unquote, is actually just as expensive for us to run on the server side as a standard 5v5 match, but the effort is about 10x less efficient per player because it's only serving one player at a time. Seems pretty simple, right? Every single server is like a cup, right? And whether or not that cup is full or not, it's still a cup that has to exist. So every time you're actually in just a training lobby, you're taking up one of those cups, the entire cup, all by yourself. Basically, if they just allowed everyone to be in these practice ranges, they could do it with their servers, but it would just be a really, really big waste of server space, and they would much rather do things like they said with a aim trainer. And I want to dig into that because having an aim trainer in Valorant itself would be absolutely fundamental. Now, it doesn't have to go in depth and crazy like something like Kovacs or something like Aim Labs, but just a simple system where we could have certain tools where we have moving things, targets, and things like that, but we get to do it inside Valorant with counter strafing, with recoil control, and of course learning each and every one of our guns. That would be an amazing way for us to practice, and I would love that, honestly. Now, about those alternatives though, they talked about the aim trainer, and that's quite a bit of ways off. They're working on that, but that's gonna take quite a bit of tuning and different things like that. But what they are actually doing is, in order to give us something to warm up and just have a better experience overall, they are fundamentally changing free-for-all coming soon. And we all like that we have the option to do free-for-all, but I feel this way, and many of you do too, that the free-for-all system just doesn't really feel that good. I mean, first of all, you're going into an actual game that you can't drop in and drop out of. Of course, there's the radar, where players are basically just using the radar and trying to play to win in free-for-all, which makes no sense when it's just made to warm you up. So why you like pre-firing angles based on the radar? That just seems really, really bad just by design. And they have stated that they're actually implementing a new type of free-for-all where you're going to be able to join mid-game. And honestly, I really, really hope that they change the radar, just get rid of it altogether. Or maybe if you don't move for like 5 seconds, then it will ping you, but otherwise you won't be seen at all. That might be a good compromise and make free-for-all more about taking individual gunfights, practicing your mechanical skill, rather than just trying to play the radar and win all the time. What is this, Halo 3? Okay. Anyways, moving on to the next story that we have to cover. There's some pretty badass people that sometimes are on the Valorant Reddit, and thanks to McMahon, shout out to McMahon on the Reddit, we actually got a top-down drawn picture of the Icebox full layout, which is really, really cool because he just watched the trailer like a million times and drew it for us, and here it is right here. And there are some really cool things that we can learn from this top-down view. The main two things that we can learn from about Icebox is, one, it might just be the smallest map that we've had so far, with it being a pretty ridiculously small map. And on top of that, the corridors that you will have to fight are really, really tight, much like some of the really tight corridors on Split. This is going to be a really interesting map, and I do think that there's going to be a lot of pressure to flush out certain avenues on attack with utility, because players could just be hiding with the shotgun all over the place. But we're gonna do a full in-depth breakdown later on in this channel, so make sure you hit that like and subscribe so that you don't miss out on how to dominate Icebox right when it releases. But the Game Leap website is your one-stop shop if you want to dominate any rank in Valorant and easily climb, because we have in-depth mechanical guides, VOD reviews, advanced tips and tricks, and much, much more. And right now, we have a very special 50% off sale, so don't miss out on this amazing opportunity to become broken in the links down below. That's all we got for you today. I'm Coach Mills, and of course, until next time.